Are you feeling lost in your retirement? It's really common. It happens to a lot of people after a whole lifetime of working and this wondrous goal of retirement and being free to do with whatever you want to do all day long, every day. And then you get there and you find yourself feeling bored or anxious or stressed out or worried about money. A whole slew of things can happen. It's not always like they sell it in the brochure. And if you retire early, it can be even worse because maybe you don't have anybody else at your age that doesn't have to go to work every day. So if you're feeling lost in your retirement, we're going to talk about the 8 biggest challenges people find after they retire.
Shut up and sit down.
Just in case you're new here, this is the Retiramentality channel. This is a place where I want to change your mentality about retirement, about investing. It doesn't work the way that your parents' retirement used to work. So now we got to figure out how to craft the life that we want and have the money to pay for it. So that's what we talk about here on this channel. We talk a lot about how to do that through real estate investing. So if that is a topic that's of interest to you, stick around and check out some of my other videos. Maybe even consider subscribing. And if you like the video, don't forget to hit the like button when we get a little bit farther into this. I want to earn the like, but don't forget to tap the like button if you're getting good value out of this content. So let's talk about the first challenge that people find in retirement. And that is being able to switch off the off button, switch on the off button, switch the button off, switch off the part of your brain that thinks you need to be going all the time. You're used to getting up, getting ready to work, get in the car, go on the commute, go to work all day, get in the car, commute home, eat a dinner with your family, whatever it was, but we were go. And now it's slow go. It's like, it's your you time, your me time. And it's really hard for a lot of people to switch into that relaxation mode. And that can actually cause people a lot of stress trying to figure out how to just switch their brain off and being able to relax. So there's a lot of different things you can do for this. You can go for a walk, you can find meditation, find something to occupy your mind that's not work, because a lot of people don't plan for, they don't know that they don't plan for the big void that's just lost when you don't have to go to work every day. So that's the first challenge that people come across, is how to switch off the brain and learn how to relax. And so you've got to really find ways to engage your mind so it's not just thinking, what should I be doing right now? You've got to find activities that you can do that are fun, that aren't work, to keep you occupied. The second one is people feel anxious because it's sort of a twofold thing. You have more time on your hand, like we just talked about, but now you have less money because you don't have money coming in. You've been in this accumulation phase your whole life, and now you're switching off to a spend phase. But on top of the spend phase, you got nothing to do all day. So if you want to entertain yourself, a lot of things that entertain you cost money. And so then people don't want to spend money. So they stay at home to try to save money, and then they get more bored, and it's kind of like it's a vicious circle. So you've got to find ways to entertain yourself within a certain budget. And a lot of this boils down to something that I talk a lot on this channel about. And every single one of these tips, I could just say the same answer, which is know what you're retiring to as well as what you're retiring from. If you had a bad job, you're retiring from that job, but what are you retiring to? And figuring out what your budget is. People need to figure out what their retirement life looks like so they know what it costs. So this causes a lot of anxiety when people don't plan, what do I want my retirement to look like and how much does that cost? So figuring that out ahead of time saves all this. But if you're already there, if you've already retired and you're feeling anxious about money because you have too much time, you got to figure out where you can spend your time and how much you can allocate from your budget to do that. Number 3 is people find difficulty figuring out how to fill their time with meaningful activity. One thing is your job brought meaning to your life, and so a lot of people don't find going for a walk or sitting on the back porch and watching the birds or watching the grass grow. They don't find that to be meaningful way to fill their time. So some people can just sit and watch the grass grow, and that's fine with them. But if you're one of those people that maybe that's not going to be enough for you, and you need to find meaningful activity, there's lots of things you can do with volunteering. You can get with SCORE, which is a great organization if you're a business person. You can go to a humane society or something. There's lots of meaningful things you can do in your community that will make you feel like you're still contributing if that's something that's causing you stress, that you're not contributing back and finding meaningful activities. Number 4 is a loss of identity. And that's because your whole life you were a doctor or a teacher or a realtor or a mortgage broker or a this or a that or a whatever. And now you don't have that identity anymore, and you don't know who you are without being that thing. People wrap themselves up in their job so much like a warm security blanket that when that thing is gone, they feel naked. They don't know who they are. You go to a party and people say, "Oh, hey Bill, nice to meet you. What do you do?" And you go, I'm retired. And they go, "Oh, from what?" People love to talk about work, but you got to just kind of cut yourself away from that and figure out what your new identity is. When they're at the party, you say, hey Bill, nice to meet you. What do you do?" You say, "Well, I like to go fishing." And then you can talk about fishing instead of trying to talk about somebody else's work or your work or what you used to do. You got to find that new identity of who you actually are without that job title. And that can be hard for a lot of people, but finding out who you are is really a fun thing to do, to figure out who you are in your own skin. Number 5 is feeling isolated because you don't have all those social interactions that you used to have at work, your group of coworkers, the people you went out for a beer with after work, or you went to lunch with, or, if once you retire, they're all still going to be at work. There's not going to be some mass exodus at your job unless they early retired your whole department and laid you guys all off. Then you guys can now go to the bar and cry about how you all got laid off. But in most cases, when you retire early, you're leaving those people behind, and they're working all day still, and you're at home. So you got to find new people to interact with. And there's a lot of things you can do here. You can go find Facebook groups or meetups to get into whatever the new hobbies are. If you want to, like when I first moved to Florida, I didn't know anybody, and I got into a kayak fishing group, and I made a lot of really good friends that were into kayak fishing. And that was a new thing I started doing when I moved here, was kayak fishing. So whatever it is you want to do, golfing or fishing or whatever it is you want to do, pickleball is a good one. You can go down to the pickleball courts and very easily meet people. Those are a bunch of super nice people out there at the pickleball courts. So you got to find new people to hang out with, because everybody you used to know, they still at work. Number 6 is people start to feel useless because, again, they're not contributing, they're not having meaningful interactions, they don't have people to hang out with, and people can start to lose self-confidence. They can start to feel useless, and that's kind of when the depression can start to set in retirement. So you've got to figure out a way, if this is something that's affecting you, this is again where you can go find ways to maybe volunteer in the community and find community things that you can get involved with that'll give you a sense of usefulness again and fill your life with that extra meaning that you need as a person to keep you confident and feeling like you're a contributing member of society. We're at number 7. Before I give it to you, you've made it this far. If you're liking the video, don't forget to hit that like button down there so more people can find the video. But number 7 is like the absence of having a routine in your life. Before you got up and brushed your teeth and ate breakfast and got in the car and went to work and came home, and you had this nice routine for your life. And establishing a routine after retirement can be difficult, and you can feel a little bit lost because you don't know what to do. So like getting up, eating breakfast, working out, going out to lunch, going to the gym, like set up a new routine for yourself. For me, I don't really have a daily routine like that, but I go deep sea fishing on Wednesdays, and we have concerts that we go to on Fridays or on Thursdays. And today's Friday, there's a bar where we go to that gives you a free Low Country boil when you buy a beer. So those are some of the things that we like to do every week. We play pickleball on Tuesdays. So having some kind of a routine so you know what your life looks like or for what your day looks like, whatever works for you, is a good way after work to kind of keep yourself on track. And the last one, number 8, is feeling some guilt. Some people feel guilty for receiving pensions, receiving money they didn't work for, receiving Social Security, when maybe there's people that have less money than you, but you still need this money to live on, or money from your investments that you don't actually get up and go to work every day. Some people actually tend to feel some guilt around this side of the money part of it. So you got to realize everything you're getting is because you worked hard your whole life for it. Give yourself a break, give yourself some credit, let yourself accept the things that are coming to you in your retirement, because they're all yours anyways. So keep that in mind. When the money comes in, you don't have to feel guilty about the money. So that's it in a nutshell. Planning, like I said before, planning what you want your retirement to look like and figuring out how much it costs to live that life is the main ingredient to prevent a lot of these things from happening. If you like this video, I talk more about that in this video over here. Go watch that video and it'll go farther into detail about how to create the life that you want in retirement, how to plan for it ahead of time and figure out how much it costs, because that will save you a lot of heartache and headache and time and trouble. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.